Andy, I'm going to show you some videos of annoying buttons that I've found and seen. Things that I think are annoying.
First world problems.
Some first world problems. So this is a car wash that I use.
Is it like a jet wash?
Jet wash, yeah. So there's a different button for every program that you can choose.
Yeah.
But the button, even though it sort of lights up when you click it, doesn't stay clicked. It doesn't stay lit up.
Okay.
So you don't know if it's actually on that program. It feels like it might not have saved your choice.
Yeah, well, it's weird how it lights up as you touch it, but then immediately goes off.
I think I would prefer that to sort of stay, just so that I know it's definitely on that program.
This is like a real-life version of a radio button, isn't it, on a website?
It is, yeah.
But you can usually see with a radio button, unless someone's messed about with it in CSS, you know which one's selected, right? Whereas in this case, once you've pressed it, you don't really...
Yeah, exactly. Right, next one. This is the loading screen of a computer game, and when it's moving, you can sort of tell which one is selected. But beforehand...
It's only the size, isn't it, that differentiates?
It's only the size that differentiates.
Yeah, you really can't tell which one's selected when it first loads. You have to kind of flick it backwards and forwards a few times.
Exactly, yeah. And this is on PlayStation, so there's no mouse, so you're not actually clicking on the button itself. You have to have the button selected, and then you press Enter or X or whatever it is. You've got to make sure that you've got the right...
Which I think we decided was the wrong way around in our last podcast, didn't we?
True, we did. Let's not talk about that now. And this is another example, but this is on the...
I have no idea what's selected there.
Well, exactly. This is on the Sega Mega Drive. It's a game on that. And because there's only two options...
Who plays a Sega Mega Drive in 2018? 2019 now.
Oh, go on. So if there were three options, you'd know obviously which one is selected because that would be the odd one out. But because there's only two, it's really difficult to tell which one's selected.
Yeah.
If you keep pressing left, it sort of cycles through them.
Oh, so you can't even like press left, left, and then you know that. I mean, that's the one that's selected. It will just go round again.
I think, yeah.
That's a nightmare.
That is really annoying, yeah. Okay, so this is a microwave that we've got at work.
Okay. And
the reason why I've taken this photo is because the button on it annoys me. And there's a few problems.
Why is stop bigger than start?
Well, that's exactly the problem. So whenever I'm using this, I make this mistake all the time. I just go for the big button because I assume that the big button is the one that starts.
Is this after you've entered the time in? So you use the numbers to write the time in, and then the button below it that feels like it should be now go is actually cancel that. And then you have to start again, I'm guessing?
Yeah.
So if I put... awful.
Yeah, so the actual start button is the one right at the bottom. The other thing that's annoying about it is that the stop clear button is a different colour, slightly different shade of grey, whereas every other button is has the white outline. So it's the stop button that really stands out, and that's the one I expect is the start button, but it's not.
Yeah, it's so weird. I think having a big stop button is a good idea for a microwave because, especially if there's a problem, something's boiling over in there, you want to make sure it's stopped. Having a big stop button is good, but I think it's the location and the confusion that's the problem here. Like, it would be better if it was at the bottom. If you just flip them round almost, it would be okay.
Yeah.
Maybe different colour on the, a really different colour on the stop button, or even a colour that indicates stopping, like red.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's not going to necessarily work well for colourblind people.
But
then they can read the words, obviously. They've obviously got limitations, as long as there's some way of them knowing what the button does.
True. Okay, this is my hob at home, which is a touch screen panel, and it's very flat, which is great because you can clean it. There's no nooks and crannies or anything to sort of get the dirt trapped in.
Is it an induction hob?
It's an induction hob, yeah.
Ooh, fancy.
But this is how long it takes to change the temperature from 9 to 0.
What does temperature 9 even mean?
It just means the hottest. I don't know.
Yeah, that's weird. I suppose hobs don't normally have a set temperature, do they? It's just more or less.
True, I've not really thought about that.
Yeah.
But the speed in which it...
That is ridiculous.
Yeah, the length of time in which it takes to get it from maximum temperature down to minimum temperature is quite a long time.
But what's 0? 0, I assume, is off.
0 is off, yeah.
So is that the only way to turn it off? Is literally, if it's on 9, the only way to turn it off is to just press and hold the minus until it...
Unless you want to turn everything off at once, which you can do, but if you've got a few different pans on, then you might not want to do that. Sometimes it is easier to turn off everything and then return on the pans that you want to be on.
Yeah.
And if something's boiling over, time is really important. Like here... This pan is boiling over, and it takes me a long time to stop it from boiling. Yeah. And also...
Because it's flat, the whole thing's flat.
The whole thing's flat, so the water's boiled over, and so it covers the keys as well.
That's ridiculous.
The buttons.
So ours, the bit where the burners are is recessed.
Yeah.
So if anything spills over, it's almost got like a dish to go in. I mean, obviously it could overflow that, but generally you've got a long way to go before that happens.
Yeah.
Whereas the controls are never interfered with by whatever's spilling over the pan. Whereas
I've got to reach through the hot water.
Yeah. That's ridiculous. Especially if you had a chip pan fire or something like that. That could be really dangerous. Like
That could be hot oil that's on fire.
Yeah, how would you is there any sort of remote kill if there's a chip pan fire?
Unplug it, I suppose. That's the only other way. Now, I'm obviously a mug for choosing this, but I don't know. It doesn't seem very well designed.
But I'm guessing, though, and maybe I'm wrong, this is the sort of industry where there's not that much thought goes into usability. And probably, if you want an induction hob, they're probably all competing to look the shiniest in the showroom and the glassiest and the glossiest. And they're probably all the same, I'm guessing. I don't know.
I don't know. Wait, I've got one more.
Oh.
This is a light switch that I found at a place called Cave Castle, which is a hotel. And I just thought it was funny. So there's a switch for everything in there. But my favourite one is nothing.
I assume that this is one of those things. Well, the switch was installed, and then later on some lights were removed, and then someone decided to label it as nothing.
Oh, it's best to label it than to just guess.
Yeah.
But there's two. There's two nothings.
There's two nothings.
There's also here.
Here. And what even could that be? I mean, I suppose it means
it's like the one that's closest.
Also, false windows.
Well,
I don't know what that means.
If you know what you might know what that is.
Really?
I don't know.
Bit weird.
Anyway, I just thought that was funny.
I feel like that's the thing that could have only occurred due to like things being added and evolved over time.
Yeah, true.
Like you would never install that afresh at the start, but maybe you'd install something in the 60s and then you've added to it in the 70s and then you've taken stuff away in the 80s, and over time it's just a mess.
Yeah.
Just an absolute mess.
Anyway, that's it.
If there's a button that's annoyed you, leave us a comment in the comments below. If you like this video for whatever reason, then subscribe to our YouTube channel. There's also the Unusable podcast where we talk about usability issues and moan about things. So go and take a listen to that. And that's it for now. So thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.